evening, ladies and gentlemen. Rahul Gandhi had to publicly apologize when he said Supreme Court ne bola chaukidar chor hai. And now he's being punished yet again for claiming all thieves have the surname of Modi. Not once, not twice, but thrice when he made that statement by 3 different courts. Today, the Gujarat High Court dismissed his plea to stay his conviction and 2-year sentence, which led to his disqualification as an MP from the parliament. But it's not just that. The observations of the court were direct and scathing. Calling the conviction just and proper, the court called out Rahul Gandhi for being a repeat offender with over 10 cases slapped against him. But what does this mean for Rahul Gandhi? This means that Rahul Gandhi cannot return to the parliament, at least till the Supreme Court or a division bench of the High Court can stay the verdict now of the High Court. He can't be the prime ministerial face for the 2024 polls unless this case goes on record speed at the Supreme Court or the division bench of the High Court. And Wayanad may be facing bypolls. Unless all of this happens, Rahul Gandhi will stay convicted for defaming the entire Modi community by calling them chores, thieves. In fact, the Prime Minister took a veiled jibe at Rahul Gandhi during his Raipur rally today, saying, "Jo dar gaya, wo Modi nahi." Listen in to the Prime Minister.
ये लोग मेरे पीछे पड़ेंगे, मेरी कब्र खोदने की धमकी दे देंगे, मेरे खिलाफ साजिश रचेंगे, लेकिन उन्हें पता नहीं है जो डर जाए वो मोदी नहीं हो सकता। कांग्रेस पंजे ने ठान लिया है कि वो छत्तीसगढ़ को लूट करके बर्बाद कर देगा।
The Congress was quick to lash out at both the judgment and the judge, claiming that Rahul Gandhi was being persecuted for political reasons. Listen in to the Congress's charge.
मैं समझता हूं निराशाजनक जरूर है, लेकिन अप्रत्याशित नहीं है, अनएक्सपेक्टेड नहीं है कि जो ये याचक हैं, शिकायत करता है, वो खुद कैसे मानहानि के शिकार हुए, ये कृपया बताया जाए।
We are not surprised with the verdict of the Gujarat High Court. This is to be expected.
It is very unfortunate that justice has not been prevailed. It is a murder of democracy. But still, the entire country, all the opposition parties and the people of this country stand by Rahulji.
Meanwhile, the BJP has also hit out at Rahul Gandhi, calling him a serial offender who has made irresponsible statements and is full of irresponsible arrogance. Listen in to the BJP.
ऊपर के कोर्ट में जाएं, लेकिन सीरियल ऑफेंडर का उन्होंने कोई ग्राउंड नहीं दिया है क्या? अगर 10-10 आपके खिलाफ डिफेमेशन के मामले चलते हैं, आप सावरकर को कुछ भी बोल देंगे, आप संघ के बारे में क्या क्या टिप्पणी नहीं करेंगे, आप आर्मी के खून की दलाली का हिसाब मांगेंगे, आप चुनाव आयोग को क्या नहीं बोलेंगे, आप मीडिया को बिका हुआ बोलेंगे, भारत में लोकतंत्र खत्म हो गया बोलेंगे, तो ये तो सुपर सीरियल ऑफेंडर हैं जहां तक एब्यूज का सवाल है।
Ladies and gentlemen, politics is all about perceptions, and ahead of the elections, how will this loss of both face and the case pan out for the Congress party, for the united opposition, is the big question mark. Let's remind you how repeated attacks on Modi has caused the Congress in the polls in past. Ahead of the 2014 elections, Manishankar Iyer said, "How can a chaiwala become a prime minister?" The fallout was Modi used chaiwala tag to sweep the polls. Then, ahead of the 2019 polls, Rahul Gandhi claimed that Supreme Court said Chaukidar chor hai. The fallout was Supreme Court forced Rahul Gandhi to apologize, and once again Rahul Gandhi possibly helped Narendra Modi to win the 2019 elections hands down. And then now, ahead of the 2024 polls, Rahul has said, who has 20,000 crore Benami money in Adani firms? The tweet by Rahul Gandhi appeared to link Himanta and others with Adani companies, and the fallout of it was Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma had then threatened to sue Rahul Gandhi. So, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question that we ask on the Newshour tonight, Ek Modi sab pe bhari, or is it really Narendra Modi the only contender for the 2024 polls? That's the question and the debate coming up on the other side.
Watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining me on the debate tonight, GVL Narasimha Rao, Member of Parliament and National Spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate. Also joining me in the studio, Tehseen Poonaealla, political analyst, supports the Congress Party, advocate Nikhil Jain. What should I call you? Just advocate Nikhil Jain?
Of course, supporting the Congress Party.
Supporting the Congress Party. I was seeking that
supports
permission.
India.
Everybody supports India, I hope so. But also joining me on the Newshour tonight, Vivek Silas, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. My first question to you, Tehseen Poonaealla. Now, Rahul Gandhi has lost 3 cases, or rather 1 case 3 times. Now, the Gujarat High Court also in its verdict says, against the defense that was put out by Rahul Gandhi, and they've said that the lower court's verdict was just and proper, and Rahul Gandhi is a repeat offender. 10 cases pending against him, and 1 even after this particular case has been going on. So I want to ask you, Tehseen Poonaealla, repeat offender just because he doesn't want to apologize to a community that may have felt hurt? Just because of that?
Thank you, Navika ji, for having me on this show. And while I bow down to the majesty of the Honorable Gujarat High Court, I passionately, strongly disagree with its judgment, and I believe Sri Rahul Gandhi will get relief in the Honorable Supreme Court. The same Honorable Supreme Court which, by the way, about the Honorable Prime Minister said he was fiddling his thumb while Gujarat was burning like Nero, and said and transferred the best bakery cases out of Gujarat into Maharashtra. Ultimately, the Supreme Court gave the Honorable Prime Minister clean chit. So will Rahul Gandhi get a clean chit. But what is the issues that we are fighting about? Here is a man who makes a complaint against Sri Rahul Gandhi for a speech made in Karnataka, political speech made in Karnataka. It makes a complaint in Gujarat. Rahul Gandhi is not a resident of Gujarat. There should have been a magistrate's inquiry. Nothing is done. The same complainant who doesn't come with clean hands before the court is a political man who's made accusations on the Congress, then goes to the court to stop his and get a stay on his own case when he sees the case is not going his way. Miraculously, when the judge changes, he goes back to the court, gets the stay lifted on the same court, and in record time, this court is settled and Sri Rahul Gandhi is convicted. There are many elements in this particular judgment by the Honorable Lower Court, and I think that will be set aside by the Honorable Supreme Court. But one more thing that I want to ask. Sri Rahul Gandhi stands by the fact that Lalit Modi and Nirav Modi are thieves, and they are not OBC citizens. They are thieves who have looted our country. And if the BJP and the Honorable MP on this show calls Lalit Modi and Nirav Modi OBC citizens, that is an insult to OBC, not what Sri Rahul Gandhi says. Rahul Gandhi stands by it that Lalit Modi, Nirav Modi are thieves who are helped by this government of the Honorable Prime Minister.
ये सारे मोदी चोर होते हैं.
सारे मोदी,
is Lalit Modi and Nirav Modi all of the Modis in this country? Number 1. Number 2, you keep talking about the lower courts. GVL Narasimha Rao, not one comment on the Gujarat High Court. They're talking about the process. The petitioner is a BJP person. Does a BJP citizen of this country not have the right to go to a court? Is the question many will ask.
Good evening to you and all the panelists, Navika ji. You see, the Congress Party, because Rahul Gandhi has not had his way in the court, and the judgments are not favorable to the Congress Party, they would go to the extent of even scarring the reputation of the Supreme Court, Honorable High Court, and they will do the same with Supreme Court also if the judgment is not in their favor. And they will not, Rahul Gandhi thinks he has, because he's born into a particular family, he has a Gandhi tag with him. He has family members, ancestors who have been prime minister of this country. He thinks he has the privilege of abusing anybody any community and getting away with it? Is there any privilege for political leaders for making political speeches which are defamatory in nature? How does it matter? A political speech is a public speech that you have made, and like you mentioned, Navika, he is not accused one or two leaders or one or two members of a Modi community. He said, "Sare Modi kyo chor hote hain?" Would if somebody were to say same thing about any other surname, would everyone in that community or with that surname, will they not take offense to it? Of course they will. So it is the right of anybody who feels that their honor is being degraded. It's their right to go and seek protection. And honorable lower courts have upheld that. The lowest court has actually sentenced Rahul Gandhi. And the higher courts, including the Gujarat High Court today, have refused to really stay the conviction. Rahul Gandhi must learn his lessons. Because he's born in a particular family, does not give him the license to abuse any citizen of this country, any group of this country, and he has to apologize for abusing backward classes in this country. Modi's surname in most states, it's a backward community. So he has to apologize to the backward classes of this community, not just to a particular surname.
Ma'am, how is Lalit Modi and Nirav Modi backward? This is an insult to the backward community that the honorable MP thinks they are backward. They are chores. Lalit Modi and Nirav Modi are chores who your government protected.
But the cases are going on against the individuals that you name. But the fact is that Rahul Gandhi, what did he say, Dr. Anand Ranganathan? Did he not say, "Sare Modi chor kyun hote hain"?
First of all, by the logic of my good friend Tehseen, good evening Navika, when he's saying how the hell is Lalit Modi and other Modis not OBC, by that logic, he means to say even Lalu Prasad Yadav is not OBC because he is millionaire and multi-millionaire. Please don't go by that logic.
No, bro,
but
they're not
Navika,
OBC.
what I'm
Honestly,
hearing,
bro, they're not OBC. That's a fact check. Neither Lalit Modi, neither Nirav Modi. That's a fact check.
No, but
Ma'am, you may
Modi's
fact check me.
surname.
I'm sorry to apologize.
It's a backward community.
Not Lalit
Gujarat,
Modi and
it's a
Nirav Modi.
backward
They are not
community
OBC.
In Bihar and in many states in this country.
That could be, but Lalit Modi and Nirav Modi are not OBC.
Did Rahul Gandhi not insult that community by saying "Sare Modi chor hote hain"? Use your common sense.
Sorry, doctor, but they are not.
If you have any common sense, answer this question. Sare Modi chor kyun hote hain?
Lalit Modi, Nirav Modi.
Not a slur on the entire community.
Lalit Modi, Nirav Modi. They are not OBC.
No, but he named them and then he said, "Ye sare Modi chor kyun hote."
तो उनको बोलो कोर्ट जाए ललित
गया ना, कोई भी
ललित मोदी और नीरव मोदी को बोलो क्या ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर
You know, are you once again getting into a facile debate that has been settled by the courts, Dr. Anand Ranganathan?
settled wrongly.
yes, Navika, Tehseen, I beg you, please don't interrupt.
I apologize.
Thank you. Navika, वैसे ही 2 मिनट मिलते हैं. Yeah. Navika, what I'm hearing is...
बहुतों को उतने भी नहीं मिलते.
Navika, what I'm hearing is that the Congress, including Tehseen, approached Teesta Setalwar to expedite the whole process and go to Supreme Court, but she refused. She's very clever. She said, "Why should I help the BJP indirectly? Because Rahul Gandhi is the star campaigner. If I get Rahul Gandhi out through the Supreme Court, then he'll be helping the BJP." So I think the entire BJP 2024 campaign has actually gone pear-shaped.
You're taking pot shots on an individual who's not present here, and Anand Ranganathan, for the record, I'll just say Teesta is not
on a lighter note.
Okay, on a lighter note, but since we are discussing a defamation case, I'm steering clear of this one. Okay. Any defamation may be filed directly in the name of Anand Ranganathan. Times Now has nothing to do with it.
Not all the Ranganathans. So please spare Suman Ranganathan there, but Anand Ranganathan, yes.
Okay.
No, but Navika, for heaven's sake, what is the Modi-Shah duo doing? They should be appealing this verdict. Their star campaigner has been convicted. While earlier, Mr. Rao was looking at 350 Lok Sabha seats, now he's staring at 250. Who is counseling Modi? As far as the verdict is concerned, I've already said this, Navika. I don't know why people have not mentioned yet that there is a Vardarajan versus the state 2006 Madras High Court judgment that says that group defamation is not valid if there is no personal allegation against the person who is a member of the group. It is a very clear-cut judgment. It has also been reiterated by the Andhra Pradesh High Court judgment in 2018. So Narendra Modi ji could have sued Lalit Modi could have sued, but the entire Modi community cannot sue. By way of analogy, just 20 seconds. Let us, if I say that all Poonaeallas make terrible sambar, the Poonaeallas cannot sue me. But if I say that Tehseen makes horrible sambar, which he does, then Tehseen is well within his rights to sue me.
But that's true, I can't sue you for that. That's absolutely true, I can't sue you for that. I can't boil water, so I can't sue you for that. You will win that hands down. I will also lose on that case.
Well,
on a serious note.
Navika, as far as democracy is concerned, this is in the courts. So all that Rahul Gandhi was saying, that all the institutions have been bought over, none of them is democratic, and he included the Supreme Court in it, the Election Commission in it. I wonder what Tehseen would like to say now. Is the Supreme Court also no longer democratic? Tehseen, answer that question first.
Respond.
I think that the honorable institutions in this country will take note of the injustice done to Sri Rahul Gandhi, and justice will be delivered.
It's very rare that Dr. Ranganathan, I and Tehseen sit on the same side, that we say that the judgment by the trial court was wrong. Let's not forget that defamation is a provision that applies for individuals.
Sitting on the side of truth.
Absolutely not. So the point is that defamation is against an individual. You yourself gave the best example that all Poonaeallas making bad sambar cannot be a case for defamation. Similarly, when Rahul Gandhi is making a tongue-in-cheek remark कि सारे मोदी ही क्यों चोर निकल रहे हैं, obviously he is talking about Narendra Modi. It is absolutely absurd that a sitting member of parliament is debating this on a prime-time show, and we're talking about a tongue-in-cheek remark being taken to court, a person being sentenced to jail for 2 years, and then him losing his
whether
membership of the
I have one small question for you, Mr. Jain. Navika, if I may.
1 minute, Anand Ranganathan, Dr. Narasimha Rao is responding to him.
No, I think it's when it doesn't concern the individual or particular community, you can say it. But if somebody were to make the same remark, would the entire community take it lying down? Would they all accept it as it is?
But it is not a case of defamation.
But I also want to ask the man who has gone, the petitioner in this case is a Modi himself.
But
and
nothing was said against him.
No,
nothing
but then
when
Rahul Gandhi says this whole thing about the Modi community, the question, Anand Ranganathan, 1 minute, let me, Anand Ranganathan, just a minute. I want to do a fact check on the petition that was put by Rahul Gandhi in the High Court. Now, what were the contentions that were put out by Mr. Rahul Gandhi? He says disqualification rejects the mandate of the electorate. So there should be absolutely no verdict that should go against Rahul Gandhi, because then it will reject the mandate. The court has dismissed this argument, saying conviction is just and proper and legal. Then Rahul Gandhi's contention was he has been sentenced so that it can attract disqualification, which means he is alleging that there is a conspiracy by the court which has disqualified him. That is the petition. But these are the arguments that have... 1 minute, let me read the next.
But there's a very
trial judge influenced by Rahul Gandhi's status. What is the status that the trial court judge not defined?
Why was the BJP saying that? When Rahul Gandhi went to court with all the chief ministers and leaders of the Congress party, why was the BJP going around saying that he's trying to influence the court? If the judge is balanced and fair, if it's all independent, then why did the BJP level those allegations?
So you're saying that because all of them went, the judge decided that he needed to go against all of them, including Rahul Gandhi.
That is in fact to prove that judges in the High Court or even the trial court in Gujarat are not intimidated by Congress people.
Then he says conviction and sentence are unwarranted. The court has said as many as 10 cases are pending against him. Cases overriding political overtones. That is what has been contended before the Gujarat High Court. And then the biggest argument that has been put by Rahul Gandhi is it will be a huge burden on the exchequer to hold bypolls. So please give me relief, because we don't want to spend taxpayers' money. Now, have you heard an argument like that, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, in a court of law? I'm coming to you, Ishkaran.
No, Navika, and I have to... Now, Mr. Jain, I didn't interrupt you. Navika, you've rightly said all the arguments, counter-arguments against Rahul Gandhi's conviction are very thin. But can I please ask Mr. Jain a very simple question, and in the spirit of bonhomie, he will answer in a simple yes and no. Rahul Gandhi is on record saying कि मैं सावरकर नहीं हूं, मैं माफी नहीं मांगूंगा. So Mr. Jain, did Rahul Gandhi ever apologize to the Supreme Court? Yes or no?
Dr. Ranganathan, you're obviously taking a political statement out of context. That is, if the top court of the country is asking an individual to apologize for an error that he made, and he's apologizing to the court.
He made an error on that count, and that was an error on Chaukidar Chor hai, that the Supreme Court had called Prime Minister Chaukidar Chor hai.
Navika, Rahul Gandhi does not pretend to be a know-it-all like the Prime Minister. He makes errors like you do, like I do, like Tehseen,
exactly
like all of us do.
If he made an error, even in the Modi case, Modi case, if he's made an error, he should have apologized.
No, but he has not.
But why does he do the grandstanding of मैं सावरकर नहीं हूँ, मैं माफी नहीं मांगता? Ishkaran Bhandari, should all political statements be allowed to go scot-free? भाई पॉलिटिकल स्टेटमेंट है, मैं सावरकर नहीं हूं, माफी नहीं मांगूंगा, ये सारे मोदी चोर क्यों होते हैं, ये सब पॉलिटिकल स्टेटमेंट्स हैं. मैं माफी नहीं मांगूंगा और मेरे पर केस भी नहीं होना चाहिए, और बाइपोल अगर होगा तो एक्सचेकर का खर्चा होगा, तो बाइपोल नहीं होना चाहिए, इसलिए मुझे डिस्क्वालीफाई मत करो. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन इज दिस?
Navika ji, we are dealing with a case. Excuse me, one sec, Anand, please. Navika ji, we are dealing with a case on which 3 courts have already ruled. So let us not raise procedural grounds here, because we have the benefit of judgments of 3 courts. Philosophically, I am against the entire law of defamation. In fact, I was a counsel when criminal defamation was being challenged in the Supreme Court, which the Supreme Court, as per me, unfortunately upheld. But when we come to this case, because this is the law of the land, as 66A was the law of the land, which incidentally BJP also supported when they were in power, defended in Supreme Court rather. What is the law of the land? We have to deal with that. Law of the land, and I'm restricting it to conviction of sentence and suspension of conviction itself, is if you have multiple cases on you. An ordinary bail case also, they ask for a police report, how many cases are pending against a person, because that is a material ground of giving bail. In this case, the court, the Honorable High Court, has gone into it and said there are 10 cases pending. There is the past of having to apologize to Supreme Court for having misusing the statement of the Supreme Court. All these cases, when it comes to suspension of conviction, become a relevant factor. So let us not go into whether this is good for democracy, whether 3 courts have ruled because somebody is to be favored politically or not to be favored politically. Let us for a second forget it is Rahul Gandhi. Anybody having 10 cases on himself of a similar type of different instances will find it difficult to get bail. And lastly, one very important point, because we are all talking about free speech, may I just read 4 lines? अमन का झंडा इस धरती पे किसने कहा लहरा ना पाए, ये भी कोई हिटलर का है चेला, मार ले साथी जाने ना पाए. कॉमनवेल्थ का दास है नेहरू, मार ले साथी जाने ना पाए. 2 years in jail to a famous leftist Majrooh Sultanpuri for this line. So let us please not talk about freedom of speech, because when you are in power, you brought the First Amendment to the Constitution. You created precedents of jailing people for 2 years into jail. When you were in power recently, you wanted to bring 66A, mere annoyance. All of us could have been in jail for annoying somebody. So let us not go into rhetorical speeches of democracy. Let's stick to the facts of this case. That is why he's lost in 3 courts and has to face the consequences like any other individual.
Well, clearly annoying somebody, well, I would have had to conduct this, program in jail, because many people are always annoyed with me. But Vivek Silas, I want to ask you, this statement, or a statement that is under consideration for which 3 verdicts have come, do you think this statement actually is something that should be covered under freedom of speech of a political neta? Number 1. And number 2, I want to ask you, if Rahul Gandhi is unable to contest the 2024 election, do you think opposition unity will become stronger? Because then one of the other leaders can become the prime ministerial face. So are you celebrating this verdict today?
सबसे पहले तो नाविका जी आपको प्रणाम एंड गुड इवनिंग. I'd just like to say it is a prerogative of the Honorable Court to see what has to be done and what has to be decided. If Congress has to get a relief, or Mr. Rahul Gandhi has to get a relief on that, definitely he must approach the higher bench of the High Court or the Honorable Supreme Court. We were talking about, as you said in the beginning of his show, that what the Honorable Prime Minister said in Chhattisgarh. Let me tell you a few things what he said in Chhattisgarh. Prime Minister Modi said in Chhattisgarh, हर भ्रष्टाचारी कान खोल के सुन ले, खून लेना चाहिए कि अगर वो भ्रष्टाचार की गारंटी है तो मोदी कार्रवाई की गारंटी है. That is what the Prime Minister said. Now the people of India have started laughing on this as to what he said in Bhopal. And the people whom he blamed are the deputy CMs and the cabinet ministers in the Maharashtra government. Secondly, he said, माँ गंगा माँ की झूठी कसम खाने का पाप सिर्फ कांग्रेस कर सकती है. But what did you do? You said that and you swear कि मैं गंगा का बेटा हूँ and I'll clean the Ganges. Even if you see the Lok Sabha constituency of PM Modi, that is Varanasi, even the sewer is going down the drain on Ma Ganga. You started a cruise on Ma Ganga where liquor is being served. He said जिनके दामन दागदार हैं वो एक साथ हैं. But all the so-called दागदार, what you said, the Honorable Prime Minister said, be it Shubhendu Adhikari, be it Ajit Pawar, Dushyant Chautala, Hemant Biswa Sarma, Chhagan Bhujbal, Praful Patel, they all are in, all the Bhrashtachari according to the Bharatiya Janata Party are in the Bharatiya Janata Party itself. And finally I said कि किसानों को धोखा दे रही है कांग्रेस. That is also he said in Chhattisgarh today, a few hours back. And what did Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi promised? He said by 2022 the income
many
of
hands
the farmers
going up. Many
double.
hands going up. Okay, Ishkaran.
Navika ji, it is a beautiful non-answer which has answered your question. Your question was, is the opposition happy that Rahul Gandhi is disqualified? In a 3-minute speech, he did not talk about the case or Rahul Gandhi's disqualification. So that is a perfect, that this non-answer is a perfect answer to your question. That opposition is very happy that Rahul Gandhi will not be the face and somebody else can be the face.
नहीं, अब पहले 2.5 मिनट में नहीं बोला तो लास्ट के 10 seconds में क्या बोलेंगे? But GVL Narasimha Rao, when the Prime Minister makes the battle cry, is this a reflection on the fact that Rahul Gandhi is out of the way? And what happens to the question that Anand Ranganathan asks? If Rahul Gandhi is out of the way, is your task now tougher or easier? Because Rahul Gandhi is your best bet.
Navika, I think let no one be in doubt or let no one be disappointed that Rahul Gandhi is not going to be around to campaign. He is going to be there leading his campaign. He is going to be the face of. He is going to be the face of the Congress party, and he will have more time to wait. He will have even more time to campaign for the Congress party because he doesn't have to go and campaign in his own constituency. So I think we are certainly elated. Mr. Anand, Dr. Anand, don't underestimate our intelligence. So we certainly would like to see him more on TV. We would like him to see him campaign even more because this law doesn't prohibit anybody from leading a party or campaigning for a party. So he's only out of the race for taking up that position. The position of the Prime Minister was anyway not going to be, it's a mirage. I don't think even the opposition is chasing that mirage. They have given up on that hope. So Rahul campaigning even more is certainly good news for us. And it also should put something into the brains of every politician that you cannot get away saying anything in the name of a political rally. And the decisions being made here are not being made by the government. His disqualification is not a decision of either the speaker by himself or by the government or by even Election Commission of India. These are all judicial verdicts. Judicial verdicts.
The fact of the matter, what nobody is speaking about is when you file a defamation case, then you go with clean hands. You cannot go with a dirty hands. A BJP member, a BJP minister, who himself has accused Congress or taken pot shots on the Gandhis, cannot go and now claim defamation because Mr. Gandhi made a speech in Karnataka far away from any state. Defamation. No, you go with a clean hands for defamation. You can't go with dirty hands in defamation. You know this, Ishkaran. You know this, Ishkaran.
There is no concept of if you have spoken on Congress, you cannot go and file a defamation if you have been defamed. That is
Where
what
has he
Congress
been
will file a
defamed?
defamation case on
Where
you.
has
But
he
if
been
the
defamed?
Congress felt that they
What
have
is
been
this new
defamed,
legal-
they needed to go to
What is
court.
this new legal defense that if you have spoken on Congress, you
I
can't
am not
file a
saying
defamation
Congress has
case?
been defamed.
From where
I
do
am
you
saying
get
the
that law?
person who went and filed the complaint has not gone with
Yes.
clean hands. His hands were also not
How?
clean. It was done politically. It's absolutely clear.
How do you say that? How do you say
Clean
that?
hands has a legal meaning. How do you bring clean hands in this case? And I started by
Has
saying three courts have already ruled
Ishkaran
on
been
this.
able to establish how Mr. Gandhi's speech in Karnataka affected him so as to cause loss of reputation for him? That's
Well, the court is convinced. The court is
and
convinced.
therefore I think it will be turned down. That's precisely my argument.
Well, I completely agree that if you approach a higher court, and a higher court can definitely give a different verdict. But as things stand today, Anand Ranganathan, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has been convicted and he's not got a stay on that conviction. So the court is obviously convinced that he's in the wrong.
This is very strange coming from my good friend Tehseen, because I've heard of victim shaming. This is the first time I'm hearing of litigant shaming. The court has adjudicated, भैया इसमें litigant का कोई role नहीं है Tehseen. And number two, Navika, can we get serious here for a minute? Everyone knows about the quips that people make in political speeches. Why is it when Rahul Gandhi makes these quips, even the opposition, the other opposition parties that are supposedly friends with him, they counsel him, please don't make such statements. I talk about Sharad Pawar talking, counseling Rahul Gandhi, do not make such statements against Savarkar. So I want Tehseen to answer. Is he now also going to shame the descendant or the grandson of Veer Savarkar because he has also filed a criminal defamation against Rahul Gandhi? Yes or no? Tehseen?
Those are two very separate issues, Anand. Savarkar and his family is a personal jibe, and there he has a right. What you said is anybody, because of a surname of Modi, cannot go and file a defamation. You are mixing up two issues. Don't make up. 1 second, Anand, let me answer. Anand, give me 10 seconds. I used to always hear slogans as Gali Gali mein Shore, Gandhi Chore, ya Vajpayee Chore. Did every Gandhi, every Vajpayee go file a defamation case? That's precisely what I'm saying. The chilling effect
I'm
of
sorry, it was always the slogan.
Dangerous.
You were not probably born in that era, in the 70s, when it was said, Gali Gali mein shor hai, Indira Gandhi chor hai. So if anybody had to go,
could some random person who's not the Prime Minister, some other Indira Gandhi, find a defamation suit that my name is Indira Gandhi,
they were free to go, my friend.
Yes,
My friend,
but that's chilling.
you're an advocate.
Yes, and that's
Nikhil Jain, you're an advocate. Now, if there is a defamation and somebody has taken exception and gone to court, you can't hold it against the petitioner, no? The court has given its verdict. If you are saying that in another case somebody said something to the Congress party or their neta, they should have gone to court and maybe they would have also set a precedent.
Because at that point of time, Congress leaders were not that absurd.
Yeah.
This is a tongue-in-cheek remark that we're discussing. A member of parliament has been disqualified for it. And Dr. Ranganathan, let me speak on the legal point. I've been waiting my turn. Navika, let me
1 minute. The advocate wants to make a point.
Let me talk on the legal infirmities that we've been talking about. Several panelists have said that 3 courts have affirmed this verdict, 3 courts have not. Only one court, the Court of the Magistrate, has affirmed the verdict.
Yes.
So far as the verdict of the Sessions Court and the High Court is concerned, they have merely declined to put a stay on the conviction.
Yes.
They are not affirming the verdict.
Yeah.
The verdict is still under challenge. It is still pending. Tehseen talked about the timing of the restoration of this suit by the BJP member who had filed this against Rahul Gandhi. Tehseen, you were forgetting one very important point. He restored it in February 2023.
Correct.
Exactly 2 weeks after the Bharat Jodo Yatra culminated, and the Narendra Modi government clearly realized that this is not somebody you can call Pappu anymore. He's proven himself to be a leader of the people. He's proven himself to be a strong voice. That is why you needed to quit that voice. That is why you needed to put him out of the parliament.
The Prime Minister had to reiterate है कि जो डर गया वो मोदी नहीं, because वो डर गए थे actually.
Navika,
And the meme that has been put out by the Congress party today.
Navika, I find it very amusing that Tehseen and my good friend Nikhil, they are both trying to cushion this whole thing by saying that this was a harmless quip. Can I please ask them?
Absolutely.
The newly appointed state government government in Karnataka, the police under it, has registered an FIR against Amit Malviya for tweeting a harmless animation of Rahul Gandhi.
Not at all.
Which law
Dr.
says that you have to
is not
practice
harmless at
what
all.
you preach? Ishkaran Bhandari,
No,
is there
Navika,
any law?
no.
Is there any law that says you have to practice what you preach?
There
You
were
will.
scathing allegations in that video.
Navika
That
ji,
video
it is
tried to
1 second. It's a
pretend
question to
as
me.
if
Let me
Rahul Gandhi
answer.
is in cahoots
It's a
in
question to me.
conspiracy
Let
with
me
some
answer.
foreign anti-state powers. That is
Navika, can I answer
purely
now?
putting
Thank you.
Okay,
remarks and
Ishkaran is responding. Ishkaran, yes.
Naviji, firstly, I think Tehseen has missed a step by quoting Indira Gandhi's record on freedoms. To say that Indira, just a quick 2-minute Google search, or maybe Anand can give 500 examples of the Nehru Gandhi family's record on freedom of speech. So please let us not make ridiculous arguments here. Secondly, I started by saying all governments, be it BJP, Congress or some other party, they enjoy these powers because when they come to power, they can arrest and throw anybody into jail. That is a sad reality of India. That is why I'm against all these laws. But as the law stands, the consequences have logically flown to Rahul Gandhi.
So before I end the debate, I want to ask Mr. Vivek Silas. Mr. Vivek Silas, if Rahul Gandhi cannot participate in the elections of 2024, will it change the election landscape for the country?
I don't think, ma'am, that it will change the election landscape because as of now, what we see, what is going on in India, the people are fed up of inflation and unemployment. It is a talk of the town, it's talk of the mohallas, it's talk of the chaurahas at the moment. What is happening? People are, their pockets are torn. They cannot run their houses. That is the problem.
So Rahul Gandhi is not an issue. Rahul Gandhi is not an issue. Tehseen Poonaealla, I hope you are hearing your alliance partner. GVL Narasimha Rao is all smiles.
He's saying it's an issue along with economy.
No, he has not said that. He said people are so bothered about price rise and they're so bothered about other issues that Rahul Gandhi is not contesting is not an issue. GVL Narasimha Rao. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, one-liner.
I hope he gets.
Navika,
I hope he gets a relief from
Cyrus is very forthright. Cyrus,
campaigning.
No, Cyrus has been very, very honest with the statement because he knows neither that front has any scope nor Congress has any hope. So Rahul being in or out is not going to make any difference. The new alliance should be called an FRA, not a UPA.
Well. We leave it at that. The election contest for 2024 is full of twists and turns. The newest twist has come today. What will happen in the Supreme Court, we don't quite know. But clearly, on the BJP side, well, they're not sad about this development. On the side of the allies, well, I don't see too much sadness there either. What really is this opposition unity all about? We'll wait and find out. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.